How is it going, guys? It's your boy. And today I've got another absolutely crazy reaction video. Now, last time I did one of these, last time I did one of these was to a video from dissing YouTubers who had provided a diss on my channel. I think that was a great reaction video. However, today is going to be different. This isn't a video that's related to me in any way. This is just a video I found and thought would be interesting to react to because it seems great. It seems like a cult classic video. How I found this was I just went on YouTube and typed up Pelo. He's a YouTuber that I frequently enjoy watching. I find his videos quite comedic. Basically what he does is he does these little animations and they're really funny. They got a lot of loud noises in them, very, very well voice acted, and sometimes he will he'll do these like kind of discussions where he shares his point of view on a subject or shares a life story in a comedic manner, in a way that's still funny. So he'll look back on like something that happened in his life and be like, oh wow, well this is kind of this is a childhood memory, but let's I'll make it humorous, which is something I think is great. And that also goes with his actual discussion videos where he kind of like says, look, I think this way of people looking at things is kind of stupid. Here's why, and here's also some humor to go with it. I think that's absolutely great because it kind of throws humor on both sides of the argument, which is great. So I enjoy his videos. Now I typed up Pelo, and I was scrolling down looking for new videos. Well, not new videos, I've watched like every single one of them. But I was scrolling down and I found this video, which you're looking at right in front of you. Now, this video, I think, is a really good video. Now, for those who don't know, there was a while ago, Pelo released kind of like began releasing like merch, and one of those pieces of merch was actually a plush designed around his animation character. Now, I think, although I didn't buy it, I think it looked like a pretty cool thing to have. It looked it's quite cool. It's not like your stereotypical plush, like, it's so cute. It's just a plush of this character that is associated with humor. I think it's fun. Honestly, I probably would have gotten it, but I didn't get it because I don't know if it's still available, but I didn't get it. Anyway, that's besides the point. The person in this video did get, at least I'm assuming they did, judging by the thumbnail of this video. It looks like what he means is from a plush. It looks like he's got a plush in the thumbnail. Now, if you wonder, oh, why has he got a plush or not? I don't know. The video is called "Beating Senor Pelo to Death," which I think really stands out well as a title. So I'm assuming it's the plush because it looks like you can see the plush falling in the thumbnail. So that's kind of where my assumption comes from. It looks like the plush. So that's kind of why I've been going off talking about the plush itself, but getting being his line of merch and stuff. So all that said and done, one more thing before we start the reaction. I want to apologise because I know that I don't know if when this video will be coming out, if another episode of Bro of the Week will happen by then, but there was an episode which will either be last episode or the episode before last episode, depending on when this comes out, where I forgot to put the intro into the beginning of the video, and that's because the episode was I was kind of rushing. I was a day late to the upload, and I just wanted to get out as fast as possible. So I rushed, and I didn't actually put the theme song in it. These are in a very uncomfortable position. Didn't actually get the theme song in it, so I want to apologise for that. And if the next episode is out, then you'll know the theme song's in it, hopefully. And if it's not out by now, then expect to see the theme song again. That is something I'm going to have as a recording theme. Without further ado, let's go. Okay, now actually, I think this is a pretty good way. This is a good way to start the video. Now, something I think a lot of like smaller YouTubers do is, I think something YouTubers need to be able to do is not come across as too formal. You need to kind of, if you're looking for a casual audience, of like younger people, which is really what the majority of YouTube is, people under the age of like 40. You want to have your audience is going to be pretty casual. So you need to kind of, to be able to relate to them. You don't want to make your videos too professional. Now, obviously, there is the industry standards volume, video quality, all of which I don't really, meet. But you need to meet these. However, I think the whole kind of like having him like you can see the moment that he turns the camera on, and um, and then begins to walk away to start the video. You see him turning the camera on, and I think that's a nice feature. That's a nice feature to say, hey, look, I'm not here to be all professional stuff. I'm just like you. I'm just a casual guy. I'm just some guy on the internet who's making a video. I think that's a great way to start off the video personally. Now I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea, but personally I think that's a pretty good way of starting off the video, in my opinion. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so it looks like I was right. It is the Senor Pelo plush, because you can see in the video that it's the Senor Pelo plush. And for those who don't know, now you know what it looks like. So with all that, now we've got all the backstory to it. Like that's like the prologue, is it, or is it the epilogue? No, it's the prologue. The prologue is the one that starts. So we've basically got the prologue done now. So now going into the main meat of the video, which I'm excited to see. Let's go.
Your Pelo plush came in the mail.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I didn't clarify this before, you'll notice that he said his Senior Pelo plush came in the mail. That's because it was obviously delivered. Well, obviously it was delivered through mail. How else does it come through mail? But yeah, these aren't things you can just go to the store and buy. These are he has his like own specific website, which is where you purchase the plush or any other merch. I noticed that recently he did release another piece of merch, which is Senor Pelo, but like as like a fetus or something. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. So that's something. And one other thing I forgot to mention, in the description of this video, I'll leave a link to this video if you want to watch it. I'd recommend checking. Well, it's only been 5 seconds, but for the from what I've seen so far, I'd recommend checking this video out. I'll also leave a link to Senor Pelo's channel if any of you are interested. I think that's everything I've got to say for the moment. So let's continue.
And I've wanted this thing for a while.
So I'd have to agree. As much as I didn't actually buy it, and I don't intend to buy it, I've got more important things to spend money on. I do actually quite like the plush. I quite like the design of it. I think it looks quite cool. I'm not often one for plushes, but I think that is one that I would consider buying. So I can see why I can see why he would have bought it and why I personally even would have wanted to buy it. But I didn't. I don't intend to. We'll see if I ever get one in the future. I doubt it.
Since I thought there was a large variety of things that I could do with it.
So that's another good point there. A lot of variety of things you can do with it, because a plush, everyone's just like, normally when you're like the reason I don't look into plushes, right, is because generally speaking, it's kind of like a pretty generally a childish thing. It's kind of associated with children and youth, and like ooh, you bring it to bed, you go to sleep with your little plushie and cuddle it. That's not what I'm talking about. This guy gets it, because this guy, I mean, obviously we can kind of predict the future events of this video with the title beating Senor Pelo to death. So obviously he's not beating the real Senor Pelo to death, but rather he's going to just throw some hits, or perhaps even worse than a couple of hits, to this plush toy of Senor Pelo. And obviously there's a lot of things you can do with a plush besides just cuddling it like a baby, using it as a punching bag, which is, I think, from my understanding, what we're going to see here. So let's go see what he does.
One of those things, for example, was to absolutely destroy his sanity.
Okay, couple things I like there. So you see, kind of zoomed into his face there. So see, that kind of comes onto the thing I said at the start, because like obviously, as I said, you got to have like you kind of want to relate to the casual audience by just having yourself like like if at the start of the video you could see me like turning the camera on and then going back and sit back, which I might even do now that I think about it. I might do that just to kind of hit with a casual audience. So I might do that, but I'll see if I can be bothered, or maybe I'll just do it because I can't be bothered editing. Am I right, guys? That's how casual I am. So there's that aspect as well. But then like you see that like it's not all about just being sleazy. It's not to the extent of being sleazy, because you can see he's edited this. You see the way it kind of zooms into his face for comedic effect, which is something that a lot of bigger YouTubers do. So that's a nice detail that I like. And then obviously the other thing, what he actually said, one of those things I can do is absolutely destroy his sanity. Now I think the phrasing is something that could be interpreted differently, but from what I understand, I think that means I predicted correctly, based on the title and the thumbnail, that this is about to be the part where he begins to pummel, throw swings at, crush, destroy, annihilate, not decimate. Decimate's too nice. It sounds intimidating, but it's actually only reducing to a tenth. I imagine it'll do it. Whatever word you want to use, 2D plush, just to imply severe harm being put upon it. So I think that's what we're about to see here. Let's continue on just to make sure that's what we can expect.
And beat him up in every way possible.
Oh, yeah, there it is, there it is. I told you. Beat him up in every way possible. Now that is quite a brutal thing to do. Every way these glasses, bro. I know I got headphones and a hat on, but like for real. My ears getting sore. Okay. So, beat him up in every way possible. Yes, that's what he said. So, I think I was right. I mean, again, I'm not making out like, whoa, I'm some psychic that can predict this. Obviously, it's in the title. Obviously, there's implications of it in the video. So I think we all knew it was coming. But I just, I mean, the video's a minute 30 seconds long. We're only 19 seconds in. I suppose for some people to think, oh, maybe, something else could be happening here. But no, now we've finally got a confirmation that what we're about to see is a brutal slaughter of this plush. So let's continue.
I saw some people did this, I think.
I saw some people. Okay, so this is actually something interesting because he says that he's seen some other people doing this. Well, but personally, I didn't even know this was a thing people did. Although to be fair, I'm not someone who tends to, despite the fact that I do upload videos to YouTube, I don't actually watch specific YouTubers very much. I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers, but a lot of them I don't even watch. There's like, sorry, there's a few YouTubers I watch, but besides, like even the ones I'm subscribed to, I don't necessarily watch frequently. And I don't go out of my way often to like type up videos on YouTube. So maybe this is something that a lot of people have done. I don't know, but this is the first one I've seen. And so far it seems like a pretty high quality video. Not a lot of things to analyze and go more in depth on, in the speech, the word choice, the change of camera angle, zoom and all that. So I think this is probably one of the better videos you can see out there. Again, I've not actually seen any other videos of people doing this, so maybe not. I mean, it would be a pleasant surprise if this was on the lower end, because obviously this is a pretty high quality video. So to think that this would be on the lower end is got very high, implications for any other video. But I'm not saying that's what this is because I've not seen the other ones. I can't compare it. So I would guess that this is the higher end of the spectrum of these types of videos. Let's continue to see what happens next.
Or may have just been seeing your Pelo who threw him out of a building.
Ah, yeah, okay. May have just been sending your Pelo who threw him out of a building. So I probably paused a bit too early there, I guess. Should have let him finish the sentence first, I suppose. So yeah, it was Senor Pelo who is, been charged with such a heinous act. I think that makes sense. I think I do remember Senor Pelo actually doing that in like his introduction to this plush. So that makes sense. I think I feel like I recall that happening. But again, I'm not sure. If you want to find out, you can check the link in the description to go to Senor Pelo's channel, and maybe you can find the video somewhere. That's always a possibility. Let's go.
I thought it'd be kind of funny to make a video like that, just random stuff.
Okay. To be fair, I agree. I do think this is kind of funny. There's something. Even when I did have little like cuddly toys when I was younger, I always thought it was funny to just like start beating them up, throwing swings at them. And now I don't have any of them left, but if I did have them left, I'd probably just spend my time swinging at them, throwing them all over the place, just for fun, So I think I can agree with him on that front. It'd be a pretty fun thing to do. So let's see what kind of creative ideas he comes up with for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna film it like a trick shot video.
A trick shot video. That is actually a really interesting idea. A trick shot video. I think that could be quite cool with so the Senor Pelo plush in particular. So now I'm actually quite excited to see how the rest of this video goes, because obviously trick shotting is something that is well known, particularly amongst people who play first person shooters. Now while I mean everyone knows that I play Call of Duty Black Ops, but I'm on the zombies side of that this franchise of games. I don't play multiplayer often. I sometimes hop in depending on the game. Maybe in World War II, I'd hop into it a couple times, hopped into it a couple times in Black Ops 3 and 4, but I don't often do it. However, I'm pretty sure you don't even need to be in the FPS, community to know what a trick shot is, and it's kind of like something that in the past was used in these MLG compilations. I'm sure everyone remembers the MLG compilations where you'd have like you'd take a movie and you'd make it MLG or swag or something like that. By adding like the sunglasses, the Doritos, the Mountain Dew, and of course the trick shotting. This was quite a common meme, quite a popular meme back in the day. But at the end of the day, it's still something that even today, you could do cool trick shots, or you can make jokes about trick shots, or you can, you don't even have to do them with snipers like you see in games. You can do a basketball, football, or with the Senor Pelo plush, which seems like it's what we're about to see. Oh, let's go.
There's gonna be a lot of different ones, right?
A lot of different ones. Yeah, okay. I was going to say something there, but honestly, I'm just stalling for time at this stage. because the joke here is that I'm making this video incredibly long, which is something that, you get two types of reaction channels. Reaction channels that overreact to everything and overanalyze everything, which is what I'm making a play on, and then the reaction channels that just don't do anything at all. Now, I realize the joke has been spoiled here, but I don't imagine anyone's watching this part. If you are watching this part, thumbs up. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, watch the actual video, because generally it seems pretty hyped so far. And also comment in the description, say, I saw this part of the video, look at me guys, I saw him explaining the joke and he didn't think I'd see. Do that if you want, if it makes you feel like that. Yeah, I paused there when I really shouldn't have. I was just like, oh, he said something, I need to pause, and I don't know how to respond. So anyway, let's continue.
So, let's just start off with the basic,
Let's just start off with a basic, now we didn't finish the sentence, but I'm assuming he was going to say slam, because obviously as you saw, he just kind of picked it up, threw it on the ground, and you can actually see it bouncing, which is pretty cool. Now I think that was actually the part that the thumbnail was taken from, because in the thumbnail, if I recall, I don't actually remember, but I think you kind of see you know how when you throw something moving in front of the camera, how it all gets all blurry, the moving object gets all blurry. I think that's what you saw with the plush on the thumbnail, and even now you can see in the bottom left corner, it is still kind of like a blur on it because it's moving. The plush itself is still moving, so I think that's kind of obviously the thumbnail didn't come from that exact point. The thumbnail, I think it was more central. It was like just as he let it go is where I think the thumbnail came from, but roughly around this area. So we've seen the first attempt of him beating Senor Pelo to death, particularly plush, Senor Pelo plush to death. Let's see what other kind of moves he does.
let's start.
Let's start. I'm interested. I'm curious to see. And there's a piano in the background. That's got my curiosity piqued, I must confess. If I'm going to take a guess, I'm going to say he's just going to throw it at the wall or something. Start off with some similar moves. Oh, this is so uncomfortable. This is so painful on my ears. Oh my god, bro. Jeez. My bad. I imagine he's going to start off with another throw, but I also noticed that some music started in. Now, I actually recognize this music. I've heard it somewhere recently, relatively recently, but I don't know what it's actually from, because I didn't see it in, the actual media that it came from. I saw it in a YouTube video about a world record montage for zombies. I heard that song there, and I think I've heard people mentioning it comes from Pokemon, although I don't personally know. But if you know where it comes from, then be sure to let me know in the comments. Let me know what song this is. Let me know if I'm gonna get sued for having it. I don't intend to monetize this video. This is not my content. I'm not one of those reaction channels who reacts to people's videos, doesn't say anything, and then monetizes off of it. I'm not monetizing this. Also, I'm also not a reaction channel in the first place. If you're watching this video and you're like, oh, this guy's really boring, he's a reaction channel. I'm not a reaction channel. Subscribe. And if you're thinking, oh, well, he's not a reaction channel, I like reaction channels, I'm not going to subscribe. Subscribe, because maybe I'll probably do more in the future. Maybe I'll do like a play on the other type of reaction channel that there is. Let's continue. Let's see how he continues to beat him up. Ah, yes. See, I predicted that. I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to throw. Although I thought he was going to throw it at the wall. I actually didn't expect him to throw it at the piano. So that's something that actually caught me off guard. And you can hear like the music's not, the sound's not been completely cut out, or maybe it has. Maybe this is just all edited in. Because you can kind of hear the piano make a noise, and you could also actually hear one of Senor Pelo's screams. Now, one of the things Senor Pelo is actually really well known for, I forgot to mention, is his screams. His screams are a lot of the time used for humor because they're such a odd scream. They're kind of like, the kind of dry, monotone scream, or like the really high pitched screams. There's loads of variation. That's one of the things he's well known for. And on top of that, the music. One point I did make about the music is that this again goes to show the quality, and effort being put into this video, because at the end of the day, this is. I was going to say, yeah. So the whole thing about being casual, having to show the camera, but still putting effort into the video. And this is another thing. He didn't need to put the music in there, but it adds something to the video that you wouldn't have if it wasn't there. And the same goes for the Senor Pelo screams. He added them, despite the fact that he didn't need to, but it added something to the video. And I think that's great. I think that's what we love to see, when we're watching other YouTubers. So let's continue. Okay, so you can see on the camera just started moving. I think he's about to pick him up and do something pretty brutal. And you could hear the end of the scream. I think I paused midway through the scream there. In my previous paragraph of discussion, I paused midway through the scream, and you could hear the end of it when I unpaused there. So it's nice to, I'll try see if I can, if I can sit still for a couple of seconds and let the full screen play out next time before I start making comments. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. See, now that is actually a really smooth edit. So you heard the scream. You heard the scream again 3 times actually, and that was to the beat of the song, which I think is really good. That's actually a really cool edit. I want to say that's something that it becomes a recurring theme throughout this video because I think that is actually a really smart idea. You know, for a video like this at least. So we're going to continue and see if this theme pulls up. Ah, yes. Okay, no. So see, you can tell there's definitely been some effort put in this video. The editing's not just simple adding sound effects, but like having sound effects paired up with other sounds, timing to them together, having videos overlapping each other, pitch shift, loads of other things are being used. This is a good video, I will say. And I think, assuming that what you mentioned earlier and what I mentioned earlier about whether or not there are other videos of people doing the same thing, I get the sense this will probably be one of the higher quality ones because this has definitely got a lot of effort put into it and editing time, while at the same time again maintaining that casual feel, relating to the casual audience and the casual user who isn't here for professionalism, is just here for something they can relate to. I think this is fantastic at getting a good balance between those two. Okay, so here we go again. His head's pointing downwards this time, and he's got him in his hands in a way that looks like it's going to be pretty another slam of some sort, or perhaps he'll rotate him and punch him in the face. I don't know. Could be either or. I reckon this is going to be another like slam to the ground. But let's see if my prediction's correct. Oh no! It's straight at the camera, straight at the camera, and again, that was a different scream. While at the same time still timing it with the music. I can't get over that. I'm gonna end up commenting on it every single time it happens, but I really do. This is so delicious. Bruh, I need to stop making videos with all 3 of these things on. It is so like painful on my ears. Jeez oh. They're getting compressed. I'm gonna end up commenting that every single time it comes because I really like that particular aspect of this video. Oh, so I think that's actually where his piano was, because you can kind of hear like you can kind of hear like a piano note playing. So I reckon if you listen really carefully, that part at least here. Let me go back and let them do it again. Because if you listen really carefully, you can hear the of a piano playing. So I'm guessing that's before. So it's actually kind of similar to like the first clip. It's almost like you're seeing it from a different angle. Now I think these are definitely 2 separate clips, but it's kind of cool because it's basically the same move as the first one, but from a different angle. Because you can hear the piano, and you can hear the piano in the first one, implying he's obviously thrown in the same direction, but from a different angle. So I think that's quite cool. Now, yeah. Right at the end of the clip, you can hear the piano. So oh, okay, here we go. So he mentions. Wait. Yeah. So there it is. He mentioned that Senor Pelo threw his out the window. And by the looks of things, he's about to do the same thing. He's going to throw out the window. So that's this will be interesting. I like seeing things thrown out windows, I gotta say. Oh, there we go. So that was one of the longer screens. That was one of the more high-pitched ones that people have come to be familiar with, come to know Senor Pelo for. So I think that was a pretty good clip. I quite enjoyed that. There's something so like just. There's something I find so like just comedic about like throwing plushes out the window, or throwing like you see all the videos of people throwing like Kermit the Frog out the window or TVs out the window. I find those to be I think they're all just quite funny things to see because you don't often see people doing stuff like that. So because there's obviously danger associated with heights and throwing things from a height. Obviously it's going to get damaged. So I think it's always nice to see people kind of throwing something out the window for a comedic effect. Because there's obviously going to be like a cost. I mean, okay, with a plush it's not going to sustain much damage, but I still respect the move. And here we can see this is actually quite a unique one because what we're seeing here is kind of like he's kind of like drowning him under this thing. He's drowning a plush on the thing. But I think this is quite a good detail because it shows the kind of like whole beating Senor Pelo to death aspect. Because this isn't like really deemed as beating someone up, just holding them underwater. But it's still something that's going to result in death. Do not do that to a human being. There's a heads up. Do not do any of these things to a human being. Little disclaimer. I feel like that's something I need to specify with some people around nowadays. Let's continue. Oh, that was actually pretty cool. So we can. Whoa. I'm curious as to what's gonna happen there. That scream just caught me off guard there. So you can hear kind of like the audio. The scream's kind of like all warbly and like drowned out, which goes well because like obviously. That's what would happen if you were underwater. You scream kind of like you kind of have that little, you know, the kind of noise because of the water. So I think that is again a good detail showing the editing and choice of screams at each moment. I'm curious to see what happens when I unpause because it sounded like something pretty whack was about to happen, something pretty crazy. Okay, well that caught me off guard. I gotta say, didn't really understand what's going on that part. I analysed every other part of this video, but that was something that I did struggle to analyse. I'm gonna keep it real. Don't really know what happened there. Although I did notice the hairdryer. He's obviously, at least I think it was, he was drying it, just kind of like drying off the plush with a hairdryer, which is fair enough, you know, because at the end of the day, this is still a plush that he's likely going to want to keep. I would want to keep it. I'd beat it up, do all this stuff. Yeah, time, he's kind of doing it in a way that relates to the title of the video. He's not doing it in just like a careful manner. He's shouting at him and holding it to his face and all that. So I think you can still hear the screaming in the background. So I think that's quite a good detail, a way to show that, you know, just looking after the plush itself, but show it in a way that makes it look like, you know, that you can still use it as footage for the video itself. Okay, so that was another, again, obviously the screams. I can't keep mentioning the screams, like, whoa, 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 look at this detail. But it looks like he's about to get consumed by a baby. Now this is a classic thing. You'll see this in like Toy Stories and stuff, Toy Story and stuff, where like, you know, the baby's kind of a threat, deemed a threat to the toys, because babies are known for just annihilating toys in such a brutal manner, you know, like chewing on them, ripping them to shreds and all that. So I think that's kind of a pretty good clip there, you know. I mean, obviously it looks like it's just like a, you know, baby doll, but I still think it kind of is a common trope that you'll see, but at the same time, you don't see it too often because, you know, movies about toys aren't all too frequent. So I think that's was a good choice of clip to add to the video. There's another scream there. So it looks like he's about to do like a tennis move here. I would assume. You kind of see the arm raised. He's throwing him up. I would have paused it before he threw it up. I had a chance to try and guess what he's going to do, but now it's blatantly obvious that this is going to be like a tennis move. He throws it up and he's just going to boom, smack it. I'm curious to see how far it'll go. I want to see what kind of damage we see here. Oh no, okay, I thought we weren't going to see it there, but we did see it, and it looks like he fell from it. Yeah, there it is there. You can see the plush falling, and it looks like it goes over the stairs and down. That was actually a pretty good hit, I gotta say. Oh my god, my ears, bro. Lads. That was a pretty good hit, I will say. And I think, again, this is what comes down what it's about. I think it's always funny to see something falling from a height in like a if it's in like a comedy or a comedic manner, things falling from heights is always just something that just seems to get a laugh, you know. So I think that was a good one. Now the next one was. So okay, wait. And that is that. So a couple things I want to analyze there. At the end, we obviously see that he actually uses the Senior Pelo plush itself to attempt to play Megalovania on the piano, but at the same time it kind of like, he obviously messes it up at the end. Now I think that was intentional. I think that was an intentional thing because he's using the plush itself to do it, and he's beating the plush up. So he kind of messes up the playing of the piano, which would make you think, oh, the plush messed up the playing of the piano. The plush made the mistake in the song, and as a result, that is why he had his face like, you know, rubbed against the piano brutally. I think that is kind of the detail that was going for there, which I think is pretty good. And I think Megalovania was a perfect choice of song because Senor Pelo actually used that for one of his April Fool's jokes once. He used to have this series going called Underpants, which is a spoof of the popular video game Undertale, and he made a video for each of the endings: the pacifist ending, the neutral ending, and the last one he made was the genocide ending. But there was a lot of time in between the one video prior and the genocide ending. People were constantly like, where's genocide ending? Where's genocide ending? So for his April Fool's video, what he did was he said, okay, here's the genocide ending, and it was just a 5-minute loop of him doing his own like cover of Megalovania where he just like screams the tune. So I think that was actually a pretty good song choice to try and play on the piano with the plush. And again, the way it kind of like leads into the plush getting beaten up was genius, I think. And let's see if there's any more little details before we finish off this video. Still 4 seconds left. Okay, and that is that. So, I think that was a pretty good video, I gotta say. I quite enjoyed that. Oh my god, I've got FNAF videos everywhere. Jesus. FNAF, JonTron, and SCV video. Great. So I think that was a good video. I think that kind of and that ending as well. I need to get my sunglasses all comfortable again. Jeez, that was brutal. Brutal on my ears. And just as brutal, almost as brutal as that video was to say, but I think that was funny. I quite enjoyed watching that. There was a lot to analyse, a lot to go in depth on, and at the same time, it kind of, again, like that casual, going back to that casual audience thing, the whole like thank you for watching, a little smiley face at the end, is something that you don't see that often anymore. You know, you don't see that kind of like, you know, thanking people for watching the videos anymore. It's just kind of like, well, you know, you do it in person, but it used to be like you'd see like just a little end screen. I think that's a nice throwback. You know, I think that kind of I think that's kind of like a statement on how much YouTube has changed over the years, and how like kind of the comparison between the content nowadays. Because obviously, I find the video funny, but I think it's a great example because you know, nowadays the content is a lot more like, what's the word? Well, it's kind of a balance. You'll see a lot of brutal things on YouTube, but it'll be from like, you know, Logan Paul or someone similar like that doing something brutal, and YouTube just doesn't bat an eye. But then the innocent ending screen to go along with it, you know, you see that ending screen is just so innocent compared to the rest of the video. You know, the whole concept of beating someone to death. That's a pretty brutal concept. That's a pretty dark concept that you know, you wouldn't expect to see in like a video for children. You know? But the thank you for watching with a lot of smiley kind of adds like a friendly aspect, which is something you would see at the end of a lot of videos for children in the past. So I think that is a great metaphor for like the current stage of kids entertainment on YouTube, because there's some really, you know, dark things out there that are being fed to kids, and I think that's kind of why the whole copper thing came into play, because there was some really dark content being shown to kids. And also, well, no, never mind. No, the copper was for the advertising. I'm pretty sure there was like a purge prior to that about content that was dark for kids, but even now, I'm pretty sure you can still find some pretty, you know, disturbing videos for children on YouTube. So I think this, as well as being a good laugh, is also a perfect metaphor for the state of kids entertainment on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more reaction videos, be sure to leave a video in the description that you want me to react to, and on top of that, a like, a comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And look. I'm gonna do what you did at the start of the video, because this is gonna be what I'm about to do is gonna be like a kind of a joke, because I kind of analyzed the whole turning the camera on, like having your hand be seen doing so, rather than just cutting it out. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that same idea, and I'm gonna implement it into my own video by not cutting out this ending part where I turn off the camera. So watch, this is gonna be great.